Hello friends. So in the previous video, I modded my Ender 3 Pro to be able to support multiple extruders / tool heads. However, the process of changing the tool head was very complicated. First you had to just align everything, and then you had to manually jog the machine. It's not good. So today I'm going to be implementing firmware that can automatically change the tool head. No user intervention required. But first I just want to give a quick update from the last video about these things. One of them was causing a lot of friction. I said it turns out that the screw was too tight that hold these into the rail, and I loosened them and it still does scratch a little bit, but it goes a lot smoother and it does not get stuck. So one of the main problems that I had that I mentioned in the last video was that this Z position is higher than what the machine allows for. So this is only 250 millimeters tall, as that's what it allows you to go to. However, 250 millimeters is like down here, which is not enough, obviously. So it needs to be more like 252 to go here. However, it can go to 259 without colliding with anything. It was a really simple fix to get it able to go all the way up. I just had to change one line in the firmware. Okay, so I homed the machine. In theory, I should be able to go up to Z259. And it does let me go to 259. I think I'm gonna have to reduce it to 256 or something like that, because it did collide with something. I should probably just set it to 255 to be safe, because we only need 252 in order to mount these. So I loaded a script on here. I did write it myself. It's not auto-generated by a slicer or anything, but what it should do is it should just pick this up, move out of the way, and then put it back. Okay, it homed. Let's see if it works. I think I wrote the script wrong. I made a minor modification to the script. I accidentally used the y-axis instead of the z-axis. Okay, it seems like it's going into position. Okay, alright, come on. Yes! Yes! Okay, come on. It's in position. Yes! Yes! It's in position. After like a week of trying to get all the measurements and the tolerances right, it finally works. I am so excited for this. I wrote a new script that will pick up the first tool head and then put it back, and then pick up the second tool head. Let's see if this works. Okay, it's gonna go in. Perfect. Okay, it's about to park. Nice. It worked. This is so crazy. Except it did bump a little bit, but that's an easy fix. But it worked. That's what matters, and it works well. There was barely any like friction or anything. But there is a problem. That G-code file is like 20 lines long. We don't want to do that. Instead, we want to just change the tool using a single G-code command. And this is the hard part, as I've never really worked inside Marlin before, and I've never written a single line of C++ code. So I just wrote some custom Marlin firmware, and whatever I wrote is the definition of do not deploy this in production. Like, I was getting errors because we don't have two hot ends, we don't even have one hot end on here, and I just commented out where the error was happening. So yeah, let's just see if the printer even turns on. Okay, it does turn on, that's good. But now, the moment we've all been waiting for, this G-code file that's 2 lines long. In theory, it should do everything that the long G-code file just did. Let's try it out. That clearly did not do anything. I'm gonna try running it again just to see if there are similar motion patterns to what it should do. If for some reason only the Z-axis is moving, that is extremely strange. Maybe it has something to do with the multi-extruder firmware. Let me try with the long G-code again. Yeah, I need to see if this is an issue with just my code that I wrote, or if it's a firmware issue. Yeah, this seems to be working fine. I think it's just an issue with my own code. So I realized I made a mistake in the old firmware, so I put some new firmware, fixed my mistake, hopefully, and let's see it. That did not do anything better. So, I've tried almost everything I can, and nothing will get it to actually, take a T0 or T1 command and convert it into movement. I've tried, and it appears as though those commands are just completely ignored. So I just tried writing a completely new approach to this problem, and it compiled first try with no issues. So hopefully, let's see if it works. Okay, that did not work at all. I'm actually gonna get out my computer and see if I can manually run these commands. Okay, so I connected the machine to my computer. Let's see if, let me home this first just to make sure the connection's working. Okay, now I'm gonna try to change the tool. Nothing happens. That's great. So I found some errors in my code again, prevented everything from working, so hopefully this is gonna be the last firmware version for this stuff. No idea what just happened there. I'm just glad that it didn't do anything, because that's even worse than it doing something. But the something that it did was not what it was supposed to do. It turns out I set a value to 1200 instead of 120, which I think can explain why it went all the way wherever it was going. So now let's try T1. I have no idea why it was moving on the y-axis, but it looks like it's doing the thing now, which is like a very big sign of hope. I strongly, like really strongly believe I've pinpointed the issue, I've fixed it, and it's time to test it. Same thing as last time. I think I know what happened. I reset the config file several times, so my max Z height changed. This time I have the correct Z height, so hopefully it works. Yes! Wait, what's it doing now? So it looks like it docked the tool head. Not fully, it didn't go down, but then it didn't do anything afterwards. It didn't go and pick up whatever is supposed to be here. So unfortunately I didn't get to capture it on camera, but it works now. It finally works. After almost 15 hours of just brute forcing like everything and just trying everything, I finally got it right. Unfortunately, it only works with the changing to tool 2, which is this one, because I haven't implemented the new update for changing to tool 1. So let me show you. So now that this tool changing stuff is done, I can start focusing on things that will actually contribute to the end goal of this project. All this tool changing stuff, I would not have done it if it wasn't necessary. Like, I'm just doing it because it'll make things a lot easier in the future. But finally, 15 hours of work just to get a G-code script running. So leave a like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. Goodbye.